and rule all the world on the sunny, sweet side of life. You don't have to make millions to be a member of the sunny, sweet side of
Nana's done some laundry in my life. Lots of laundry. You should be doing laundry too. You don't want to go stink ass. You know what I mean? Anyway, I'm going to show you some tips today about laundry, because Nana knows laundry, because I've done a little bit. First, the wash. Now, this is a commercial washer at a laundromat. I'm at my mother's house, so I'm doing laundry here, not in my own. But you might have your own, or borrow your mama's, or you might have to go to a laundromat. But either way, it doesn't make a difference. When you have your laundry, you got to separate them, some people say. Now, I use cheap-ass laundry detergent. You could just use cheap-ass stuff. Be careful you don't put in too much, especially the concentrated good stuff. You're going to put it in. Don't go crazy. It'll bubble over and you'll be washing it again and get all that shit out of there. You don't want to do that. You can use some cheap stuff. It's okay. But when you fill your washer, you can put in, you don't have to segregate things. We are not prejudiced when we do laundry. So you don't have to do blacks and whites and lights and darks. I just put it all. I just put darks, I put colors, and put my underwear and things. If you only have a small load, save money. But be ready, if you do that, for your underwear to look kind of gray, because it turns out not so white. That happens. If you don't put your white clothes separate, it happens. I don't care if my underwear is gray, and so I put it all together. Some people do. But then some of y'all only wear those string things anyway, and so it doesn't matter. They don't turn gray because they're just like a string up your butt, like floss, butt floss. But that don't matter. I've seen that underwear, and it doesn't matter if you separate it. But be ready, if you got like a wife beaters, you got white clothes, and you want them white like this white, not this gray, you got to separate them and put them into a different laundry. And you put your bleach in very carefully, because you spill that on your clothes, you're going to mess up your clothes you're wearing. You might get bleach on you, and then it'll ruin those clothes. And that is not nice. I tell you, that is not nice. You go around with pants with bleach stains at them, everybody knows what you did. You want to separate them, make them, different, you can. Sometimes your color clothes will get a little dingy too. So if you're one of those boys that wear the pink shirts or a light colored shirt, which y'all can do these days, I'm fine with that. I love to see a man in a pink shirt, but it may get a little dingy looking if you wash it with your blue jeans. Red things will leave your underwear pink. It'll leave your clothes pink. So be careful with red clothes. Those manufacturers don't care. They send things with dye on them, and you got to wash them first out of them. So maybe a warm wash sometimes, unless you've been nasty and you got something really dirty. Put it separate. Put it on hot water. Put some of that all fabric bleach in there and get that nasty out of your clothes. Pre-spray. You got pre-wash. I didn't bring any here right now, but you got pre-wash you can put on stains. If you're like me and you eat and things come down, they hit these knockers, they fall there, and you get a spot on it, you can spray it. Or some little child comes up and grabs you and gets chocolate down the side of you, you can spray it, and you spray it ahead of time. Don't wait till after you've dried it, because once you dry that stain, you cannot get it out. So pre-wash, pre-stain things before you put them in. Don't dry them first, because it will be hopeless, and you'll be giving those clothes to your little sister hoping she don't see the stains. Now, that's all washed, and we're going to move to the dryers. Now, we're going to talk about dryers and drying your clothes. Now, it's very important when you take them clothes out of there, you check in your pockets and you make sure. You should have done that before the wash, but if you did catch it, check and make sure that you don't have any crayons or ink pens or some kind of snack in there. I know sometimes you go out to the club, someone gives you a snack, a jelly donut, a candy, you stick it in your pocket, and you bring it back and you wash it and you put it in the dryer, and then it's just all over your clothes. And children will leave you crayons in their pocket. And a hot dryer and crayons, what do you think? It's a mess. That's what it is. So then you get your clothes, you put them in the dryer. Now dryers are the money suckers. When people tell you time is money, they're talking about dryers. At the laundromat, them dryers cost a fortune. And at home, it costs you too because the electricity runs up when you run a dryer. Your mama, if you're using her dryer, she's going to want to know why and how long you use that dryer. Don't use it too many times. And don't be one of them fuddy-duddy people, some of those stupid-ass ones that come in, there's clothes in the dryer, they throw more clothes and they turn it on again and re-dry them clothes again. Use it like a dresser, not a dryer. That don't work. The dryer, don't pack it full. Don't pack the dryer too full. Don't overload the washer. If you overload the washer, you overload the dryer, and I've had to say this for years and years and years. Don't overload, because it'll ruin the washer and the dryer, and your mama won't be happy. Or these commercial washers, they won't work as well. If your clothes don't swoosh around, and you don't get them freely moving around, and they don't dry where they tumble loosely around, they aren't efficient. Woohoo! Lady just left. She had 15 minutes left on her dryer. I pulled my sheets out. I'm putting them in her dryer. She said that was fine. What a gift. I got 15 minutes. I'm turning it on. And my sheets are going to dry in this dryer. And my underwear and things are drying in that dryer. And that gives me less time in a dryer for free. Save money where you can. It's a blessing. Now remember, don't get it too hot. You get them dryers put on too hot and you got troubles. Because if they get too hot, some things, cotton things, lightweight things, they're fine when it's hot. But you get on some of them little shirts, maybe you wear a little shirt that's kind of short, and you wash it and you dry it too hot, and that shirt shrinks up and it gets up here and you have your belly out. Maybe you like your belly out. Maybe you think you look good. You go to the club, you dance in your belly out. But maybe you like me and your belly don't look so good hanging out. Don't let your shirt shrink. It's not baby shirts if you got a bigger shirt. And you want your buttons to do up, don't you? Then you got to wear it open with a cami underneath or something silly like that. Use a cool temperature if you're drying things that are permanent press. Because sometimes they get wrinkled. And they'll come out all wild of a ball of a mess of wrinkled. And then you got to iron. And I'll tell you what, I'll do anything to avoid ironing my clothes. It's a bitch. You don't want to iron things if you can help it, and you know you aren't going to get to it later. You put it in a box, you put it in a basket, and you say, oh, I'll iron later, and then you don't do it. You know? Nana knows. Nana knows you don't get to it. And always clean out the dryer lint. Don't be that creepy person that leaves the dryer lint in the dryer to get all over somebody else's clothes. Next comes folding. Now, you're going to need to fold your laundry, and it's best if you fold it right away. I know, but Nana, I'm busy, I gotta run, this happened, I put it in a basket. It sits in that basket and it wrinkles into a mess. If you want your clothes to stay nice and not wrinkled, then you gotta fold them when they come out of the dryer. Fitted sheets. Fitted sheets aren't hard. They're not hard. What you do is, the spots where they're folded in the corners, put your hands in the corners and fold it corner over corner. See, so I got folded in half, one corner over one corner. Do the same for the other end. Then you fold all those clothes. Make sure when you fold them nice and flat. Get out all those wrinkles and make it nice and neat. You don't want your jeans all wrinkled up around your ankles so they look stupid. People say, oh, he's a slob or she's messy. Make it nice and flat in your drawer and they'll stay nice and flat in your drawer. But fold them right away. When they're warm and you leave them in a bunch, they're going to stay in a bunch. You put them on and they stay in a bunch. Not nice. Ugly shit. You don't want that ugly shit going on. That's why Nana knows. Keep them nice and clean, keep them nice and flat, and you will look good. And you want to look good, right? That's it for now. Nana says, happy laundering, because Nana knows I got a lot of good tips. Because Nana knows. Bye.
Of the sunny, sweet side of life. outside and see it's grey.